Hello and welcome back everyone. Let's discuss about the fundamentals of a program. As this is the basic of C, before you understand what programming is, you first need to understand what is a program. So I am going to describe some basic concept to you before we start the C in detail. As you already know, computers are very dumb machines. They only perform the tasks which we told them to do. For example, whenever you click on any application, it opens and starts performing its task. But you don't know what's going behind it. Actually, it's a program that instructs the computer what to perform. So, the basic operation of a computer will form what is known as computer instruction set. Instruction set is basically the instruction on the CPU, the processor of the computer. To solve a problem using a computer, you must provide a solution to the problem by sending instruction to the instruction set. So that's what happens when you write a program. You send the specific instruction to solve the specific problem. Now let's talk about algorithm. Basically, an algorithm is the procedure or step-by-step instruction for solving a problem. They actually form the foundation of writing a program. For example, if you have to check whether the number entered by the user is prime or not. So in this scenario, the statement that solves the problem becomes the program, and the method that is used to test if the number is prime or not is an algo. Whenever you write a program, you need to write the instruction necessary to implement the algo, and this instruction would be expressed in the statements of a particular computer language. So now we're going to talk about some basic terminology. The CPU is Central Processing Unit, is the brain of the computer that we have studied in our earlier classes. CPU is also called main processor or central processor. This is where the most of the work is being done. It also executes instructions that make up a computer program. RAM, that is random access memory. All of you heard about it. It is a form of computer memory that can read and change in any order. Sometimes students get confused between memory and hard drive. Memory is not same as that of hard drive. Actually, memory refers to the random access memory inside your computer. RAM consists of small chips also called memory module. RAM is typically used to store working data and machine code of your program while it's running. Storing data is very important in order to perform operations and algorithms. The main reason to store data in RAM but not in hard drive is that RAM is faster than hard drive and let your program to run quicker. Hard drive, also referred as permanent storage. Hard drive stores the file that contain program source code. The main difference between the hard drive and RAM is that the data stored in the hard drive is remain safe when your computer is turned off, while in case of RAM, the data gets erased whenever your computer is turned off. Hard drive also stores several gigabits of data. So I hope that you get the basic difference between the RAM and the hard drive. Let's move to our next point, that is operating system. It is developed to make your life easier. Operating systems are essential for computers to be able to do everything they need to. An operating system can communicate with the various parts of your computer. It sends information to and from your computer hardware and desired application in order to carry out the task you request. The operating system also communicates with the user through the equipment and application it handles. When you type a word on your keyboard and click on any link through your mouse, you are actually giving command to the computer. Your operating system takes that information from you and puts it into the place using algorithms and technology. It also manages the computer resources and handle execution of different applications. There's a lot that goes into an operating system, but we need to understand the basic of it. It just allows you to use your computer in an easier manner. Some example of very common operating system are like Windows, Linux, Unix that you everybody used in your computer. Let's move to our next topic, that is high level programming language. High level programming language make it easier to write programs. Now if we have to again understand all of this instruction on the CPU, it would be very difficult to write and to understand all the instruction. That usually means it's an assembly language. You heard about the term assembly language. It just means you are writing a program at very low level. It's such a low level that you have to understand the instruction set, and you can imagine that if you have to write all of your programs with all these instructions, it would be very inefficient and very difficult to write a program. So high level programming is opposite of an assembly language. For example, C. C is a high-level programming language. A high-level programming language is a language with strong abstraction from the detail of the computer. As high-level language are closer to human language, you don't have to memorize the instruction on the CPU. You just understand the language itself. So it is much more efficient and it's much easier to accomplish and solve problem. And so we are going to study C as our high level programming language. You have to take that language and then run it on your CPU. You have to convert it essentially to the instruction that CPU understands. So this is where our compiler comes into play. When you write code in programming, you are going to use a compiler that translates this high level language source code into detailed machine language instruction, basically assembly language. So you are going to write a program that go to high level abstract thinking, and then the compiler is going to generate all the millions of instructions that go to the CPU. So we are going to use a compiler in this class to do exactly this. We are going to write source code in a much higher level language, and then we are going to run a program. Here the compiler converts that code into something that CPU understands easily. The other thing about the compiler is that they are also going to check whether or not your program has a valid syntax. So whenever you have to write your code, you have to follow the rules of C language. The rules of C language are essentially the syntax, whether or not you have a semicolon at the end of sentence, whether or not you use a certain keyword. If you have to do these things incorrectly, you are not going to run your program. In this case, the compiler shows the message of an error in your program. That's all for today's video. If you have any query, let me know in the comment section.